before we get in this title, okay, hold up. Let's talk about something else first here. So there's a video theory. So first of all, spoilers. If you're not ready for these spoilers and these raws from the most up-to-date One Piece, it's about time you get out, just so yeah, get out, leave.
Get the hell out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Okay. Get out! Get out!
So, now that I've kind of warned people that we're about to dive into some spoilers and some raws, I just want to get straight into it with this first video. I've been kind of lazy with it, I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's still a theory that holds weight as a theory and not a fact at this point. So it's still something worth arguing. And I mean, with the latest chapters, if you've seen it, with Zoro, with Zoro, oh no, with Sanji and Zoro, God, basically making their, was it Super Saiyan ascensions? You could basically say that, yeah, anyone would say Luffy would be Kaido at this point if you've seen Zoro and Sanji beat you-know-who, Queen and King. I mean, it's just not even rocket science at that point, but better late than never in this title. I mean, it's there. It seems clickbaity, but nah. We finna get into why this is real. This is 100% real. Luffy is going to body Kaido, and I don't give a damn at this point. I got all the facts to back this shit up. It's a theory still, though. First of all, let's talk about how Luffy is going to body, because there are different types of bodies. Okay, sure, you can catch a body, but did you have to fight for it? It was kind of just already dying. Okay, so Kaido right now is, I'd say, weaker. Sure, if it's a 1v1, always bet on Kaido. Yeah, but Kaido's still a human. He still takes damage. So the damage Kaido has taken to this fucking point kind of leads me to believe that he may not be the bet at this point. Luffy has just been throwing anything he can to get over this wall of Kaido, to a point where Kaido, I wouldn't say is as weak as a dying Whitebeard. That would be my worst fear, honestly, because then you have Kaido as a low, like almost dying, like old man, and then it would be a low difficulty fight where Luffy just bodies him. I think it would be the worst case scenario for Luffy to just have it easy and just body Kaido. A lot of people would just call it bullshit at that point, and I don't blame them. Because in my mind, I think the perfect way to explain how Luffy would body Kaido is mid-difficulty. It'll be a middle fight. Kaido will have sustained some damage, but he'll still be this warrior that's gonna give Luffy a run for his money, it seems. But I think Luffy still needs to not have a high difficulty fight. I think it's gonna be mid, because Luffy, in my opinion, needs to win this fight, and he needs to be able to still stand after this fight. And I'll argue that Luffy's gonna mid. Now that we've explained what body is, he's gonna mid-tier Kaido. Mid difficulty. So, let's get into point one here. If you don't know by now, in my opinion, Luffy is just already a Yonko. He has everything that a Yonko really needs. I mean, Big News Morgans kind of spelled it out perfectly. Good News Morgans, gave that good news when we all needed it. We all didn't believe it was fact. 50 Yonko, what the fuck? But we all forget that it really does kind of make sense for there to be a fifth Yonko, if there's someone that powerful and they're just out there. They don't have to replace a Yonko. They could just be as powerful as a Yonko. So, how's Luffy as powerful as a Yonko? I mean, it's kind of spelled out. The man has potential powers that are just creeping up every day. From King's Haki to upgraded Haki to the Will of D, which can really just be explained as of right now, the voice of all things, and possibly more. So the D Clan has unspoken powers that we're probably not gonna see till like Void Century. But hey, I mean, if Voice of All Things is the starter pack of fucking D Clan and possible extra shit that even the Celestial Dragons don't want to talk about, shit. I count that as a power. I count upgraded Haki as a fucking power, and I count King's Haki that is currently being upgraded and infused King Haki now. Infused King's Haki to other Hakis is also a thing that I fucking count as his power. So Luffy has power potential. He has lands that lands that go to King's Summit and have a lot of power and say and shit that happens in the world, just small shit. And then he has an entire fleet at this point that's growing daily. I mean, completely daily. So, all that wrapped in a nice bow, I think I can just go ahead and call Luffy Yonko. I don't know what else will really prove it. I think it will be finally set in fucking stone when Luffy literally bodies Kaido. That'll be your fucking write-off. You'll say, oh, knew it, Yonko. You know what? Long Kid Yonko too. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Personally, if you've noticed now with these Raws, Luffy's crew is getting into that same kind of foreshadowing now coming to fruition power-up stage. Okay. I mean, full-on power-up stage, bro. Everyone is beating their limits. He is also someone who has never really been, if you've noticed, OP like most shonen characters. If, in my mind, personally, Luffy has never been overpowered. There's always been a situation in the main battle Luffy has had to overcome. He has never one-punched someone, besides Belly. And Fishman Island, if you count that, but there was a few little, it was cool though. It was a cool way to show off powers, and there was a little bit of a struggle. A tiny bit. Okay. Hoodie Jones put up a tiny bit of a fight. He became a villain for about 0.2 seconds on top of that ship. And then Luffy destroyed out of the ship, and you know how the rest goes. It was a good, cool battle, and there was the one-punch situation but with Bellamy, but in total, to me, Luffy has never had a situation where it's just, oh yeah, Luffy could just one-punch the hell out this guy, or oh yeah, Luffy could always defeat all the people that we've seen so far right now. He's the head honcho type shit. It's never really happened. There's always been a situation in One Piece that has made me go, God, I hope Luffy doesn't meet that one character he's bound to meet soon that just got introduced that's going to beat his ass for the next few arcs. God, I hope Luffy doesn't meet this character. I don't think Luffy could beat this character. A lot of doubts in my mind when I look at One Piece and Luffy and his Gum Gum powers, And there are times, of course, where Luffy gets his power up. I'm like, oh, hey, he got a little bit farther in the game. Okay, so now, when he had his gear powers, I'd still say he had people above him. And so gear second, gear third, he still had people above him immediately, in fact, in the next arc with Gecko Moria and then Shabon Depart. It was just like, oh, he's here, and then he's normal again. Now, there was the Haki discovery, and there's still people over Luffy. So he's never had that main character aspect of, oh, he's about to be the most powerful person during this endgame version of the story. Luffy's never really been that person. He's always been his person on his P's and Q's and survived off his fighting instinct. So, don't you think it's time for him, like most shonen characters, to have his Goku moment, his goddamn one punch moment? He's never been a one punch or Goku of his story, really. Not unless it was just a villain he finally got the upper hand on. So Luffy, in turn, as a shonen character in my mind, is bound for an upgrade in either King's Haki Infusion that's going to just push him forward in this fight, upgraded haki. I mean, there's a lot of potential for my man Luffy to shine, and it's time for him to become overpowered as a shonen character. It's just what stories are gonna be, you know? You hear romance novel, you expect there to be romance. You hear shonen, you expect someone to beat ass. So, that's where Luffy's at this point. In Luffy's case, not only is he a main character with a lot of potential and infused haki, King's haki, but this guy also has had powers of a goddamn Super Saiyan. Let's dive into that real quick. The Katakuri fight still haunts my goddamn mind, if you've seen the Katakuri fight. And even before then with Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci's fight with Luffy that left Luffy in the fucking dirt, and then going on the train, and then Luffy was kind of stuck actually. He left Luffy stuck in a bunch of debris or some fucking building. Anyhow, not really relevant, and I don't really care if I got that right or not. What matters is Luffy learned to gear second and third after that loss. Kind of like a being we know now called fucking Super Saiyan. Team 4 Star said it best. And when it comes to a Super Saiyan, they get their ass beat, they become stronger, and they move the fuck along, bro. And they just defeat whatever the hell they needed to defeat. And Luffy has kind of become a Super Saiyan. Sanji too, and low-key Zoro. The whole crew really has become Super Saiyan in the fact of battle makes them stronger. Besides the Rob Lucci fight in the gears, the Katakuri fight, oh my god. To this day, I want to call it a draw. But Luffy was left standing after battling Katakuri. It was just a constant back and forth of like Katakuri just messing with a 5-year-old type stuff until Luffy started to realize his potential, and then it just all came down. And it was like, oh, well, it all dawned on me. It didn't come down. It dawned on me that Luffy is a Super Saiyan at this point. Full on. And Katakuri just let that Super Saiyan learn a whole new ass move of observation haki, future sight. At that point, you can't write it any other way. Luffy's a Super Saiyan, bro. So, with that in mind, I think Luffy is going to, after these, like, what is he at defeat wise? Like third defeat? There was once at the Curry enslavement and then knocked off the building. He's at fight number 3, okay? Possibly 4, but in my mind right now he's at 3. So at battle number 3 against Kaido, no, it was technically 4. He technically lost his shit and then came back mid fight while on the platform, so it's technically 4. And Zoro and them saved him. But Luffy in general at this 4th fight has gone against Kaido so many times. It's just a matter of time at this point, right before we get to the main battle, that I am just ingrained in my mind. Luffy's going to mid-diff Kaido. He has Super Saiyaned his way away from 3 fights, a lot of gear 4s, to say to himself finally, oh yeah, I'm gonna go defeat Kaido. I've Super Saiyaned my way up. He's ready for his potential upgrade. It's so many big things that could happen to cause this. I really expect a mid-diff fight. Now, it's also semi-predictable, but not as predictable as losing would be. We all know Rob Lucci's on the way with reinforcements. He's there now, but he's bringing reinforcements on the way with Rob Lucci there in company, already chasing Robin. If Luffy were to lose this battle, the story would become very predictable. Rob Lucci wins over Robin, and Luffy's defeated, and the company of Big Mom and Kaido set off for their journey, and Luffy's left with nothing but his fleet and what's left of his crew, enough to just make me go, get on with it. I already know what's gonna happen. You know Luffy's gotta get Robin back in short. You know Luffy's gotta team up with his father to do so, in turn making him an even bigger threat that took down the world government and later on the Yonko he couldn't defeat earlier, causing Luffy to become a Yonko, then a king of the pirate, then a I Am Sama slayer, then a One Piece holder, and then story's over. That's too predictable. That's not what I want. I don't think that's Oda's style. It's too predictable. Now if Luffy wins, what happens? Even I can't predict. Like, I had to stop myself just then and say, I don't know what Luffy would do once he won and he was still standing with this newfound power. What the hell else can you do besides just say, oh, this is gonna be goddamn interesting. Luffy just beat the hell out of Kaido and now everyone's gonna be shocked as hell, and there's nothing else I can predict from there. And I love that. That's what makes the story the story. So in my opinion, the way the story's going now and how unpredictable yet faster it's going, with a lot of foreshadowing finally coming to light, I would say we're in the mindset now of being unpredictable and getting our characters their well-deserved W at this point. Luffy winning would be more interesting than Luffy losing. And now we get into even more points. There's so much foreshadowing in this, bro. Because when I think about the fight in general, you have Kaido really just on the ropes with no sort of different game plan once Luffy shows his power. Right after the 1000th chapter, Kaido referenced Luffy's power. His power from one punch, as to reminiscent of Shanks and Whitebeard and company. He was like, how high will your ceiling go? This man was already saying Luffy had the potential, and Luffy has already grown from that point. He's back on the island again, declared, yeah, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and beat up Kaido and finish this. So after Kaido has been attacked by, let's count it off, the Red Scabbards. What else happened to Kaido? The Red Scabbards, his own daughter betrayal, his own daughter / son kept up with him for a long time. Then you have a little bit of extra fight from Law, Kid, especially Zoro. Zoro even landed a mark on Kaido. Never forget that one mark he left on Kaido. And finally, you have a Luffy who's been landing punches when Kaido was caught off guard in dragon form and human form. So, with all this damage, no real way for Kaido to really show, or no real showing as of now of Kaido recovering. And he's just kind of taking punches and going for it and just saying, I'll just take them all out anyways, it's cool. And then getting disappointed when he can't lose to Luffy. It's really gearing towards Luffy just spotting my man in a very, very fast and advanced fashion. I'm talking like his potential at this point, Luffy's potential, will only just blossom from like issues like these, because it's even been foreshadowed by Rayleigh. These fights are helping Luffy. They literally establish him as a Super Saiyan. So the more fights Luffy's in, the more he's gonna win. So in that sense, there's nothing really else to say. This theory is done with. It's just Luffy has one mission at this point, and it's gonna come true because it's a shonen. Not only that, but because at this point you have way too many factors against Kaido. Kaido has more factors against him to lose than he does to win, or else the story becomes kind of predictable. And I don't think the story's going to become predictable, because that's not Oda's way. But I think it's about time I go ahead and rest this case here. Luffy's going to body Kaido. It's going to shock all of us. We can't predict how the hell it's going to happen. But I know it's just like this festering, like, worry / knowledge in my head that's like, you know, Luffy is probably going to body Kaido and you're probably not going to be ready for it. And I'm not. I'm really not. But Luffy's a Yonko now. We have to accept that his infused king hakis, his hakis upgrade, that's observation, hardenment, and kings, and his power of the D-Clan, which I personally would like to see more power of the D-Clan, like a new power besides the voice of all things come out. That's just me. But that would be a nice icing on the cake to make Luffy OP. But maybe we're just waiting for an even better fight. Maybe that'll be a Blackbeard thing. Maybe. That's another theory for another day in the D-Clan. I need more information on that. But for now, this is Luffy is going to body Kaido. Tell me what you think. Let's have a small discussion about this, because I think I got all the points in the right place. I think Luffy's ready to become an OP character. Not a One Punch Man, not a Goku, but maybe it's time to give him a Naruto like upgrade. Maybe. I think it's about that time. Maybe Shonen will prove me wrong. Maybe it won't. Usually I'm like 70-30 on these things, but for now, feeling pretty confident. This has been Royal on a big topic for video 1. Hey, and keep reading. Yeah, that's my outro. Keep reading. Peace.
Look it like preach.
Here, that one.